Hi, and welcome to this webinar about success principles. David Bunny is my name, and I'm excited to be here today. And I thank TrainSmart Australia for this opportunity to share my message. What a great company to be associated with. In fact, we share very similar values. We both help other people. And I congratulate you for taking time out of your busy day to learn some more principles. What I can promise you in return is that if you take lots of notes and you apply some of the things you learned today, you will fast track your success quicker than perhaps you would have otherwise. But before we get started, I just want to make a very small announcement about my new release book called Success Leaves a Trail. Yes, you went an Amazon bestseller. Thank you for the people that have bought my book and helped me get a best-selling book onto Amazon. And what I'm really proud of is the fact that it went in the categories of management and leadership, which is really quite an honor. So thank you very much for all the support. Appreciate it so much. So today we're going to have a look at some success principles. And we're going to be trying to understand exactly what these success principles are and how other people use them to the best advantage. We'll also be having a look at how you can develop some new habits, perhaps you have some old ones, but some new habits and routines that'll serve you the best. And then how to implement change in your personal life. And we'll speak a lot more about that a little bit later. Before we get started on some new learning, I just want to take the opportunity to recap on a previous webinar to set some of the foundation. We spoke about system of success, and in particular we spoke about the philosophy of mindset, mechanics, mentors. And that's exactly the format that my book follows. It all starts with mindset. Shift your mindset. Have an open mindset. Know your goals and why. Then be open to explore new opportunities and accept learning. You've got to have an open mindset before you can take on board new information. And then the mechanics? Well, simply that's the how-to information required to achieve your goals. But the truth is, if you don't know what you're trying to achieve, you don't need that how-to information. So this is why it's very important to get your mindset correct first. And of course the third part, mentors, well, every successful person has had a mentor along the journey somewhere. So you learn to connect with mentors to fast track your success. Mindset, mechanics, mentors. So the learning starts with what it is you're actually trying to achieve. That's part of your mindset. And why is it actually important to you? Get that locked away first. That's your starting point. And the mechanics, the how-to information, well, what is it exactly you need to learn to achieve those goals? And with the mentors, what areas would connecting with a mentor help you the most? And we're going to speak a little bit more about that today. So if you didn't see that webinar, search for it, go back, have a look at it. You'll find it extremely helpful. So now we can move on to today's topic, which is success principles. And we'll be having a look at trying to understand exactly what these principles are. And we're going to identify some of the principles that highly successful people use. We're also going to challenge your thinking or challenge some of the habits you might have grown over the years and you don't even know why you do these habits and routines, and how to develop some good ones. And how to implement change in your personal life. Now I know as soon as I mention the word change, yes, it gets scary. Nobody likes change. I get that. I really do. But the reality is you're not going to get a different result unless you do things differently. So don't be scared about it, just one step at a time. So that's some of the information we'll be covering. I encourage you to take a notebook and pen, take some notes, because there will be action points throughout the webinar. Let's move on. Let me ask you some questions. What does success mean to you? Have you ever really stopped and thought about that? What does it mean to you? I've posed that question to a lot of people all around the world, and I get a multitude of answers. And please don't tell me it's about money. It is just It's just not. True success means different things to different people. Perhaps it's just simply completing your studies or achieving a better career. Maybe success means starting a new business or making money out of your passion or hobby, whatever that is. Or simply teaching the values to your children, being a good role model, or even helping others. But I encourage you just to stop for a minute and ponder that question. What does success actually mean to you? No one else, just to you. And then followed very soon afterwards, ask yourself another question. How would more success impact your life? Would you do things differently? See, my life is very simple. I just have fun and help other people. But how would it actually affect your life? What impact would more success actually have on yours? Have you ever tried to design the perfect lifestyle for yourself? Do you actually know what your perfect lifestyle would actually be? You know, would it be sitting on a beach and just relaxing forever? I don't know whether you might get bored, but maybe not. Or would it be helping other people or getting into your local charity or whatever project you're interested in? But what would your perfect lifestyle actually look like? I am hoping that your perfect lifestyle would include a lot more fun. You've got to have fun in life. For me, I like cruising. I have the best fun. I just love everything about cruising. Everything from the food, the service, waking up, deciding what you're going to do today, what activities, meeting new people, visiting new countries. For me, it's just, cruising is just a lot of fun. But what about for yourself? Maybe it's camping or fishing. What do you enjoy doing on the weekends? How could you have a lot more fun in your life? I'm hoping that designing your perfect lifestyle would include helping some other people as well. Have a look at the smiles on these kids. You see, recently I had the privilege of working with a group of volunteers distributing some education supplies to these kids. And not just any kids, these were from some villages where the families were too poor to send them to school. And some of these kids walk 2 hours a day just to be at school, and yet look how happy they are. We distributed things like toothbrushes, showed them how to use it, and we even gave away 650 motorbike helmets and taught the young kids how to clip the strap under your chin and to teach their older brothers and sisters and even their parents the value of being safe on a motorbike. Experiences like this is priceless, and yes, you can have a lot of fun. But what would it be for you? What would your perfect lifestyle actually include? And I really encourage you to give that some serious thought. So now we come to the most important key success principle of all of them. Knowing why success is important to you. You see, your energy level comes from your motivation. We only ever do what is important to us, ever. And I really get a bit of a laugh when I see people, they complain about, oh, I'm feeling tired today, I don't have much energy. You know what? It's really silly when you think about it. We don't store that much energy in our body. We generate the energy, and the energy comes from our motivation. So if you're highly motivated, you'll also have lots and lots of energy. And all of this comes down to the simple success principle of knowing why success is important to you. Please give that some serious consideration first. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Yes, I want more success in my life, but there just seems to be things holding me back. Yeah, I know, I've heard it all before. Let me help you break through some mindset barriers. It's not as difficult as it might seem. You see, it really comes down to problem solving and identifying exactly what it is in the first place. Loosely, most mindset barriers are grouped in either fear, knowledge, motivation, confidence, or it might be emotional. They're the main areas people seem to get slowed down in. But once you identify exactly what it is that's holding you back or slowing you down, it's not that hard to get some information and then learn how to overcome that. For example, confidence. If you felt that confidence was slowing your progress down, then simply go and get some information on how to become more confident. It's out there. I know it's out there. It might be knowledge, lack of skill. You can learn these skills. No matter what it is, you can break through these mindset barriers once you can identify what it is that's holding you back. And unfortunately, most people just don't spend the time to clearly identify what part it is. So let me encourage you, just have a look at what's slowing you down, and I can show you some ways on how to get through there. And this is how you get through it. Learning outcome, action step. Yes. Identify which obstacles are slowing your progress. You've got to do that first. If you can't do that, then how can you move ahead? Second, research the skills you need to overcome them. As I said before, the information's out there, but the most important thing of all is to take action and solve these areas that are holding you back. And while you're thinking about some of the obstacles that might be slowing you down, I also encourage you to have a look at your lifestyle balance. This is the formula that I use. It's been around for a very long time. And it's all about getting your life in balance. And so we look at 8 areas of your life. You see, what happens is if you focus too much on one area of your life, then another area will suffer. I was overseas recently talking to some business people, and all they focused on was return to the shareholders, making money, and they were working long hours just to make money. It wasn't hard to see a lot of them actually had health problems. And in fact, many more actually had family problems through relationships. If you concentrate too much on one area, another area of your life will suffer, guaranteed. They talk about true wealth being having a balance in all areas of your life, having an abundance in all areas of your life. That's true wealth. So if you want to do a bit of a test, go through the areas and rate your level of satisfaction, 1 to 10. 1 being poor, I need some work. 10 being, yes, it's fantastic. Now, if you went through each area and rated that, you would see possibly 2 or 3, maybe even 4 areas that could be improved. So let's move on and see what we can do about it. Yes, it's another learning outcome action point. Once you've identified the areas of your life that might need attention, and as I said, might be more than one, I want you to think about 2 simple changes that you could implement, maybe tomorrow, that would actually help that part of your life. And make them simple and take action to do it. You see, for instance, you might say, I've got to get healthier, I've got to get healthy. People say that all the time, I've got to get healthier. Well, tomorrow, could you exercise a little bit more? Could you go for a walk? Take the stairs instead of the elevator? Could you drink more water perhaps? There might be very simple changes that you could apply that over a period of time would make a huge difference in that area of your life. So I encourage you, again, with notepad and pen, to have a look at your life and your balance and just see if you can come up with a couple of areas that need attention and what could you do? Simple changes that would improve that area. I know, we said it before, implementing change can be scary. I get that. But you know what, when you look at it on a diagram like that, and it starts with evidence for a need to change, that was like looking at your life balance. Is there evidence there that you need more finance or you need better health or a better relationship? The evidence is probably there if you start looking for it. And then you make a decision to take action. A decision is no good without the action, because you've got to make a commitment. Now, I know making a commitment can be scary. I work on CTS, commitment to self. I commit, or I promise to myself, I'm going to put these little things into practice. And you do it, and you implement it. There's only two outcomes. You either end up with successful change and a better lifestyle, and you achieved what it was you set out to, or you lost your focus, or you broke your promise to yourself, in which case you then start reevaluating, well, was there a need in the first place? When you look at a diagram like that, it's simplistic. Don't overcomplicate this. Just look at one piece at a time. When you're making change, one step at a time. That's all you need to do. And when you are making changes, a good place to start, simplify your life. I know, you've probably heard it before. You see, successful people have a very good technique of learning to say no. And I know it's assertiveness, but you can be assertive with manners, and you can learn to say no with confidence, and we'll give you the formula for that shortly. So learn to say no more will simplify your life. Don't take on board so many activities just through obligation. The second point is to accept responsibility for your actions. I know you've heard it before, but you are, in your life right now, the sum total of all the decisions you've made to date. That's a scary thought. But accept responsibility for your actions. I know it might be hard sometimes, but these decisions determine success. And understand the burden of ownership. You see, Robert Kiyosaki had a good formula there. He talks about assets produce income, liabilities cost you money. So it might be some of the things that you own are not serving you very well. Or you might be owning a whole bunch of gadgets that just take up too much of your time. They're always breaking down. Or technology is a little bit like that sometimes. You can become so frustrated through owning so many things. Sometimes simplify your life is the answer. Here is a simple formula to learn to say no assertively, with confidence and manners. I really urge you to practice it. And the formula starts, it must start with the word no, right? Don't make any excuses. It starts with no. That's the beginning of the formula. Then follows the reason why you're saying no. And it's always nice if you can tell the truth. Put the truth in that reason. No, because. And to show some manners and helpfulness, end it with some options. Offer alternative solutions. So the formula is simple. Learning outcome, no. Reason, and include the truth, and then offer some alternative solutions. Practice it. I promise you, it'll free up a lot more of your time. So now we move on to creating some success habits. And I'll make the point, success is guaranteed when your actions are congruent with your goals. Keep asking yourself, is the activity you're doing right now helping achieve your goals? Because if your actions are not running parallel with the direction you need to be, then you need to either change your actions or you're just not going to achieve your goals. One of the most important success habits that I have been taught by my mentors is to pay more attention to your morning routine. And this is so frightening that many people wake up in the morning and the first thing they reach for is their telephone to look at Facebook or their messages, or they check their emails. The first 60 minutes of waking up in the morning, in my opinion, is critical to the rest of your day and your success. I always start my day with, as I said before, gratitude. I have this routine with my feet, which I've printed in my book. My feet are not allowed to touch the floor in the morning until I can think of 3 things to be grateful for. And of course, the first one is easy. I didn't die in my sleep. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity to have one more day. And then I think of two more things to be grateful for. Then I can start my day. I also include exercise in the morning to get some oxygen to the brain. Now, if it's fine and sunny, I'll go for a walk. If it's not, I'll at least do stretching exercises. But you need to focus your mind correctly in the first 60 minutes of waking up in the morning. And you'll be amazed at what a difference that makes for the rest of the day. I also talk about having an intention for the day. That means, what sort of mood do you think you're going to be in? You can choose that. You can be happy. You can choose not to be. How do you intend to interact with your colleagues? Have an intention for the day. And also include in that intention, I'm not talking about just to-do lists, but how you interact with other people. But include in there effective time management, because it's so easy to waste some time and yet you don't get it back. And the other habit I find works really well, again taught to me by my mentors, is to make time at the end of the day for reflection. How well did you do? How could you have done things better? What could you do differently tomorrow that you did today? So make some time for the day reflection. I know we get tired at the end of the day, but in your unwinding process, just have a look at it and reflect on today. And while you are reflecting on the day that you had, have a look at your time management for the day. I love this quote. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift. That's why it is called the present. From Eleanor Roosevelt. You see, we don't get back time. It's precious. And I know the matrix that they use for helping effective time management has been around for a very, very long time. But you want to aim in quadrant number 2, working on tasks that are important but not urgent, because that'll give you the time to plan. If you're in the planning stage, you're probably doing really well. That's where you need to be. Because if you're not, if you're in quadrant number 1, everything seems urgent, everything's important, you're actually running in crisis mode. And a full day of crisis management is just exhausting. So please, wherever possible, try and work in the important but not urgent quadrant. Give yourself some time to plan on things coming up, and you'll find you have a lot better effective time management. Successful people have mentors. And I mean, every successful person has had a mentor somewhere during their journey. My quote is, the surest way to achieve anything is to follow the success of someone who has done it. It goes back to 2,500 years ago with the Greek philosophers, Socrates mentoring Aristotle and Plato. Even Bill Gates from Microsoft, he openly admits that Warren Buffett has helped him as a mentor and still does today. It's success helping success. And of course, mentors fast-track your progress. It's as simple as that. So please, I urge you, have a look at how mentors can help you in your life. And if you've connected with mentors, well then you can also gain credibility by association. You probably remember your parents telling you, oh, don't hang out with a bad crowd, you'll become like them. We see the opposite is true. Surround yourself with successful people and you will become similar. But protect yourself against negativity. Just be aware there is so much negative in the world. It's so easy just to become absorbed. Turn off the TV. It won't hurt. If the news is bad enough, somebody will tell you about it. But just be aware of how much information comes into your mind, what mental input. Protect yourself against all negativity wherever possible. Read a good book, read a successful book, or do whatever you have to do to have the good mindset of positive attitude. And just as important as mentors, you'll need to develop a support team. And you'll need support in three main areas: knowledge base, emotional, and social. Now, your knowledge base is just resources, or it might be a personal success library. You know, the smartest person is one with the best library. The best investment in the world is in yourself, is in you. So get some knowledge support. Emotional support and encouragement. That might come from your spouse or your significant other, but you'll need well supported emotionally. And the last area of support for your team will be social, family and friends. Now, I know you might have had some friends for a very long time. If they're not supporting you, sack them, get some new ones. I'm sorry that sounds harsh, but you need to have support around you. Don't be near people that are going to drag you down or whinge and complain. Be around positive people and make sure you have that support on your family and friends and your social. It's so critical. So I hope you've been taking lots of notes throughout the webinar. And to summarise, the key element of all is to know why success is important to you. And we said that is your motivation. It creates your energy. That's where your energy is generated. So knowing why success is important to you is your starting point. And then we said about identifying mindset obstacles that might be slowing you down, and how you can learn the skills. Go and find the information to overcome that specific area. But you've got to identify which one it is first. And then, of course, take action. How balanced is your life? Are you spending too much time in one area and not the other? Have a look at the balance and see what could you put into place, simple things that you could put into place tomorrow that would improve that part of your life. And of course, number 4, simplify your life. And the formula we gave that was the assertive formula. And it starts with, that's right, no. No other, it must not start with any excuse. It starts no. Then give the reason, put the truth in there, and offer some solutions, offer some alternatives. Have a look at some of the habits that you've created over the years, and create some new ones. Create success habits that other people use, and surround yourself with successful people that are positive and are uplifting. That is so important to your direction. And pay more attention to your morning routine. Now, I suggested the first 60 minutes is critical to the rest of the day. And whether it be through showing gratitude, a little bit of exercise, or mentally having that intention for the day, as well as time management, make sure that your day starts correctly and the rest of it should roll fairly well. And I also suggested always make time at the end of the day for a daily reflection. How could you do things a little bit differently? How could you do it better the next day? And the last learning outcome of the whole webinar is simply develop your support team in those 3 areas of knowledge, emotional, and social. You will need support. Now, if you can spend a bit of time on those 7 elements, just one at a time, you'll be amazed if you make a commitment to yourself that you're going to get better and you're going to implement these success principles. You'll be amazed over a 3-month period how quickly and how much further progressed you will actually be. So continue your journey and connect with me. It's really simple. If you want to know more information about my book, then www.successleavesatrail.com will give it all to you. Or if you want more resources on success, then my personal website, thedavidbunney.com, there's a ton of information up there. I appreciate you joining me on this webinar today. And to show my appreciation, I've got a special bonus for you. If you go to my personal website, thedavidbunney.com, you can log in for my course called Get Your Life Sorted and Then Make Money. It's all about exactly that, getting your life sorted. The Making Money shows you different options and how to connect with different opportunities. So check it out at thedavidbunney.com. Appreciate it. So in closing this webinar, I repeat the system of success, which was mindset, mechanics, mentors. And I truly hope that I have inspired, educated and encouraged you to implement some of the success habits presented here today. Because I believe the more successful you become, the more ability you'll have to make a positive impact on the others around you. So thank you so much for sharing with me. And I especially thank Train Smart Australia again for this honour and privilege to share my message. I look forward to seeing you in the next webinar. Cheers.